Hello everyone, and welcome back to Killigan's Treasure. We're heading out with Mac for a quick, it says it right there, a quick little meal to, get the day started, do things, yes. Mac and I have a quick meal, filling up enough to easily last till dinner. For some reason, the bartender isn't here today, but the waitress remembers us and gives us a discount since we've pretty much become regular customers. The minute we finish, Max sprints out of the tavern and back towards the academy for his exam, which leaves me to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do today. Well, let's have a look at the map that he gave me. What do we got? What do we do? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 to do things. We got the bathhouse, the Coliseum, Skrillsy Commons, the general store, Bestial Alleys, the tavern. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know, man. Huh. Let's go to we were here before, right? And didn't really find anything. Oh god, I wasn't ready to make decisions today. These cost like 2. Spend time training at the Coliseum? Nah. Huh. Nah. Well, let's try. Let's try to get some strength up, right? It's time to get serious about the Athlema Summit. I'm gonna head to the Coliseum and train. Not as much of a crowd today either. Wait, not as much of a crowd here today. I wonder if they got that business with registration and attire sorted out. Can we get new attire? Just thinking. Like, Killigan looks cute in that shit, but, I'm sure Killigan would like the option, right? I head through the Coliseum's corridor and came out onto the main field. And just like the other day, the scent of sparks and singed scales is palpable. Unlike the other day, though, there's a few Skrillsy sparring right at the mound in the middle of the field. And it looks like it's 2 versus 1. Oh. Good. This time we want you to withstand as much as possible, without budging an inch. Even if we say, yank your tail, or, scoots off? I'm not so much about this exercise, Matt. I don't want to hurt our poor clutchmate. He can endure it, I'm certain. He was whimpering like a hatchling when that scoot on his pinky claw was torn off so many years ago. We need to verify that he's toughened up since. I guess, but... Wait, what if we get that guy's help? Howdy, fellas. Y'all sparring for the summit? Why, yes, we are. Are you also competing in the Athlema Summit, sir? Yup, you bet I am. Interesting. It's quite rare to meet a beast competing in the Athlema Summit alongside us. We haven't really even seen one here since we were waddlers. Waddlers? Waddling? I'd never. Yes, that's accurate. You're not like the other beasts I've laid eyes upon either. Are you? I believe the term is, a Galmish? Boy, if I had a euro for every time I've heard something like that the past week. Of course. Where are my manners? I am a Matagov, eldest member of our clutch. No, I'm Toffee. Toffee? 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 I'm the youngest, but my scales tend to spark the most. Atama. Our toughest and obviously most talkative clutchmate is named Atama. Clutchmates? I suppose it's familiar to what you beasts call a pack. No, like a clan. No, not that. We don't have any relation to each other. We're simply a group of close mudscales who grew up in neighboring hatcheries and with similar aspirations. To defeat the Beast Slayer and prove ourselves in the summit. Yes. Huh. Y'all and me both. Name's Killigan, by the way. So, y'all were looking to spar, right? Kinda hard to do that with only 3 of you. Indeed. If you'd like to duel with one of us, give us an even 4. I'd be happy to extend the invitation. I should warn you, however, we each have our own individual strengths. I shan't tell you what they are, though, of course. We're here to toughen each other's scales, after all, not expose each other's weaknesses. That said, we are also looking for an extra coin. Some extra coin. So if you're interested in placing a wager on your spar with us, feel free to. Just keep in mind, we are fighting a little harder for the promise of more coin. Got it. I'll keep that in mind. So, now that leaves the choice. Which one of us would you like to spar with? This lad seems nice. Okay. Looks like Toffee and Madagoff are already starting up their own spar with each other. I ought to do the same here with Atama. Wager. Nah. Nope. Not for now, at least. Okay. It looks like he's starting to square up, so here we go. Smart him? I sink my hoof down, hoof below the dirt, low enough for a bit and for bits and pebbles to clump around it. Then kick upward as hard as I can, spraying dirt towards him. I think it actually worked. He's blinding real hard and trying to keep a beat on me, but I think that might have messed with his vision. I almost feel bad for the guy, but a spar's a spar. I'm getting ready to attack, but I think he's struggling to find me. Held it together without much trouble. I'll go for what works against the other Squirrelsy. I fought, a punch aimed right at the belly. He hardly even moved, but manages to make my punch glance off of his forearm scoots. Slow. He's getting ready to attack, but I think he's struggling to find me. Held it together as much as possible without much trouble. So, do you enjoy sparring with your clutchmates, Atama? They seem like a good bunch to duel with. I'm just curious about y'all is all. Really doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk. He's getting ready to attack, but I think he's struggling to find me. Oh. Shit, that's smarts. That's gonna be something I can do to throw him off guard. No wager. Okay. Well, we got double? Double. Or clutchmates. I think he's asking if I want a rematch for double the wager, or fight one of his clutchmates. We'll rematch. Wager? Nah. Nope. Not for now, at least. It looks like he's starting to square up. Here we go. Okay. I'll go for what works against, yeah. Okay. Score it. Okay. Esto. Eh. I wonder what this does. I'm still fairly confused about a lot of this, but that's fine. I mean, we're gaining stats. I guess that's good. Charm, meager, dim. Yeah, that's about right. For me, that is. I'm just about spent after all that sparring. Agreed. It was a great dueling with you, though. Take care. You too. With that, I head out of the Coliseum, satisfied with the training I've gotten in. Now to figure out where to go head next. I'll be waiting for Mac here for the rest of the day. Not yet. Check out Beast Alley. What is this? Check out the Squilly Commons. Sure. Haven't really much of a chance to see populated parts of Eris. I think I'll have a look at the beast-centric part of town. Right away, I'm taken aback by how run down this section of Eris is. It almost doesn't even feel like the same town. It feels almost like a cramped corner of Redwood, even. Except everyone's wearing a deterrence band, and they don't have an unnatural look in their eyes. Just a look of hope for better days, and probably food. None of them look all that stocky. Maybe I ought to see what I can do while I'm here. Whoa. Donate to the beggars. Solve a dispute between some unruly. Well, I spot an Incy woman struggling to move a large shipment of sewing supplies. Well, large for her at least. I spend the better part of an hour helping her relocate them to inside her shack, while she opens them and puts supplies away. In the meantime, we make small talk over what a fresh face like me is doing in Eris, of all places. I tell her I'm competing in the summit, which practically frightens her fur off, but interests her. By the time the last crate is in, my brow is dripping with sweat. To my surprise, she heartily thanks me for helping her out, hopping up and squeezing a hug around my neck as tight as she can. She doesn't have any money to spare, unfortunately, but she'll spread the word to her friends about me competing in the summit. It's honestly a really heartwarming feeling being heralded by a fellow beast instead of Spedhorn. I ought to take off for now. I got other places to be today. Now, where to head to next? Let's check out the Squilzy Commons, right? Haven't had much of a chance to see populated areas. Let's go to the Squilzy. I've already gotten a good glimpse of this part of Eris over the past week, but I never really noticed how high the buildings go. There's got to be 3 or 4 stories to each building, and if there's a Squilzy living in all of them, no wonder there's a shortage for beasts. The Squilzy themselves are a buzz about talks of a Bavolian being somewhere in Eris. Oh boy. Soft Scales seem to be discussing with each other about how they've heard tales of a certain Bavolian a long time ago who wielded magic. Meanwhile, Hard Scales are of a mixed opinion, claiming that they've heard the Bavolian gave the Beastlayer a run for his money and want a piece of him. Fortunately, I don't think anyone's pegged me as that Bavolian. I've gotten a couple looks, sure, but no sudden gasps of realization. For now, maybe I ought to see what I can do while I'm over here. I mean, if we can just, like, punch someone, right? We can... we can do the thing, but maybe smarter? I watch a Skrillsy just as they're finishing a conversation with someone else about the Bavolian and ask what all they know about them, since I'm a Galmish, and I want to know if I'm related to one somehow. They agreed, and they're more than eager to talk about what they've heard, apparently. The Bavolian is rumored to have fur that's as black as charcoal, and with manes that can stretch from head to tail. And their eyes are a piercing white, able to instill fear into the very soul of anyone unfortunate enough to be in their path. They've also heard the Bavolian has horns like mine, but long and sharp enough to skewer 3 Skrillsy at once. On top of that, they didn't even have feet. And they have these strange things called hooves that are like solid rock at the end of their feet, tipped with iron spikes. The Skrillsy remarked that I actually have a lot of the same features as a Bavolian. I quickly play it off by telling him my father was a Bavolian and that my mother was an Incy. I am a Galmish through and through. The other way around would have been more believable, but a paw's sitting right on my shoulder. The Skrillsy believe it well enough, though. Although they comment on how it must have been a hell of a feat for my mother to deliver me. We go our separate ways after that point. It's really wild to consider that the people here think Bavolians actually look like that. I ought to take off for now. I've got other places to be today. Now, where to head next? Oh, well, we have to go to the tavern, right? Yeah. We go. We've used up our time. I grab a seat at our usual booth just as Mac comes in to greet me. Hello, Killigan. How was your day?
Pretty eventful, you know. The usual. Your exam go all right.
I think so. It was primarily arcanic material that I can contextualize for a variety of situations and elaborate on quite easily. Although putting the spells into practice myself is another story. However, I did have some spare time to look into that glowing that occurred with your map.
That's great. What'd you find out?
Well, it's rather sensitive information, actually. It would be best reserved to discuss within the privacy of the dorm.
No, sure. You got time for a bite to eat before we head up?
Of course. I don't have any more classes until tomorrow, so I'm free for the rest of the night.
Good to hear.
The two of us order up, and I make quick work of a discounted competitor's meal. The tavern starts to get packed with other competitors as I finish eating, filling it with life, but also making it a rowdy place to be. They look a lot like the clutchmates from the Coliseum in both stature and dress, although some look much more intimidating. Mac and I head out before the place gets too crowded to even hear each other. Oh, it's late by the time we get back, easily well into the night. Mac puts away most of his notes and rehydrates himself.
So, what's this sensitive information business you found out?
Well, as I told you last night, it's something I originally had a decent hunch about. Although it's almost something I was hoping I would be mistaken about. You're certain the map only started glowing when it touched you, right? Not when Zakar or Tavi were holding it.
I touched it with my snoot, so I don't know if it counts. But yeah, I guess.
I see. That further confirms what I've researched. Anyway, between exams today, I stopped by at the Academy's library to look deeper into a few ideas of what I thought it could be. I cross-referenced your information of your map, glowing with all of the books I could find on the sanctioned schools of magic. When an enchantment is applied to the scroll, it typically requires a rune for one of those schools to activate. None of them can do anything like that with what you described. Not even Arcanics.
Really? Oh, well, that sounds really strange.
I thought so too, which brings me back to that hunch. I believe, although I'm not fully certain, that the magic imbued within your map could be Amnix. I don't know this word. No idea. Amnimnix.
What's Amnix?
You've never heard of Amnix? The unsanctioned school of magic no mage is permitted to use.
No. What's so bad about it?
Well, it's... For one, it's explicitly forbidden to practice under any circumstance. And for two, it involves magic that manipulates one's soul.
Uh, your magic can mess with shit like that.
No, not my magic, no. I wouldn't know the first thing about how to control Amnix. But I did find a book that roughly details what it's capable of. And one of its uses includes glowing when touched.
No, I get you.
So my hypothesis is... I think I will end the part here, everyone. So I'll see you guys around!